Mate, I've got boob sweat just from setting these tents up. It's that hot. I don't know why people aren't talking about these tents, you know, because they're absolutely banging, and I'm going to show them you now. This is the Revolution 1.5 and this is the Chinook 2. So firstly, we'll have a look at the Revolution 1.5. Now this is a summer tent. As you can see, the fly has a couple of inch at the bottom, but you could bring it down a bit if you want. And the at the doors themselves, they've got this hook and loop system, so it don't rise up with the wind. The zip, storm flap with some velcro on it, vents at the top, one at each side, and the poles are dark Featherlight NFL green. Plenty of tying out points. There's 2 on each pole, and then 2 on the door there as well. Let's have a walk round, shall we? It's a nice colour, I think. This is it called Boulder Grey, I think. They do it in a few different colours. There's adjustable tie out points at the foot and the head end, and then in the corners you've just got a generous loop, and then your poles just sitting like that. That top pole comes over the inner of the tent, so you don't get wet when you open the door, which is always a good thing. Now let's have a look inside. Oh no, there's a couple of bees in here. Oh, look. Can you see them? One on bathtub and then one crawling up there, look. I'm gonna have to be quick in here, aren't I? Right, so inside here you've got 4 massive pockets in each corner. Then you've got loops all up on the top. Hey up, buzzy bees there. One in middle there, one there, one there. There's even 2 across the back here. There's plenty enough room for me to sit up inside. I don't want to put my hand anywhere near them bees because I don't want to get stung. The door tiebacks are these nice toggles and loops, so you can tie them up properly, and that's same with the outer doors. Plenty of room between the fly and the inner, and then it's got them toggle and loop system to hold the inner to it. Now this tent, whew, oh, it is getting warm in here. Now this tent I bought second hand off eBay before I got the Chinook, because the Chinook wasn't in stock, but it is now. Decent sized vestibules though, look. Let's get my little legs out there. Not a bad sized vestibule, and you've got that on each side. Ooh, I need to get out of there and get away from them bees. Sorry if this video's a bit boring. I don't usually like doing review videos because, well, they're just boring, aren't they? So the bathtub floor raises up about 6 inch maybe. I can't remember the specs for it, so I'll bang them on screen now and you can have a look. But I will tell you what the weight is of this, because the way how they weigh it, it's just the tent and the poles on its own, with no pole bags, guy lines or pegs. So they claim on the site 1.2 or 1.3 I think, but I'll put it on the scales with everything that you need, you know, pegs, pole bag, pole, guy lines, and it weighs in at this much. Can't remember. But the pegs weigh about 200 grams, so it's not far off with a 1.3 I think. Let me open this door and then I can get rid of these. It's only a single zip on this Revolution. It would have been nice to have a dual zip on it, but never mind. Now, it doesn't need seam sealing, doesn't this? It's got special way of sewing it, and I've not had any troubles with it. Can you see this piping that they've sewn into it? Oh, sorry, can you hear that? Shut up, you noisy git. So if you're looking for a lightweight semi-freestanding tent with DAC poles, I'd go for this. But if you're wanting something a little bit more substantial, then you want to go for its big brother here, the Chinook 2. How old are you now, mate? 9. 9-year-old for scale. Now this tent is absolutely solid when it's guyed out. I mean, it feels solid now, but once you've got the guy lines out, I wrap these around the poles and then pull them out. Now this is my favourite tent at the moment. This has also got DAC poles. Don't know if I've mentioned that already, but loads of guy out points. There's one there on that pole, 2 on this pole, 2 on that pole, 1 on the door pole, and then 2 on that pole as well. And this can actually turn into a summer tent as well, but I'll show you that in a minute. Nice big vent either side and huge doors. These also have a buckle at the bottom to stop the wind rising it up. Oh yeah, forgot to mention, it's dual zips on the doors. The fly comes pretty much really close to the ground on it, and again you get the adjustable thing on the middle bit there, and then on this one I've added the adjustable one on there, but this just has a loop, same as the Revolution. Mate, I'm sweating. Woo! Do you know it were 4 degrees last week and now it's 18? That's Celsius for all you Americans out there looking at this. Ooh, it's warm in here. Bloody hell. Right, so in here you can see I'm knelt up there, and that's the height on it. That's what I like about these tents, because they're quite tall. I like to have room in here. This has got all the thingy points as the same as the other. It's got one across there and there if you wanted to bring a washing line down there or across there, and then 4 along there. What I've added a washing line to, and then a loop in the middle. Again, there's 4 big pockets in each corner. Bathtub floor again, fairly high. Now this has got the full solid inner, but as you can see, you can roll this little bit of the door back to get some venting option going on. And there's your elastic look for the door to tie back. Shall we have a look at vestibule? Let's see how big this is in here. Yeah, you get quite a bit of room in there. Plenty of room for your boots, backpack, bit of cooking and whatnot. Now this is the 2-person version, so it is slightly bigger inside, but I don't know. I know that it's not symmetrical. I know the head end is slightly wider than the foot end, so I'm not sure what the measurements are for this. But this one again doesn't need seam sealing. It's got this piping that goes down here, and I think this is what catches the rain or any that comes through and then takes it all down to ground. Inside it's got buckles on this one. There we go, instead of the toggle and loop. No way I'm going to be able to do this one-handed. To tie this door back, it's got a elastic and the toggle there. We always like elastic, don't we, if you're going to do a toggle. Right, I'm going to show you how you can turn the Chinook 2 into a nice summer tent, so you could use this one all year round. Like I say, I bought that one on eBay before I got this one. If I hadn't bought that one, I'd have just bought this one.
A few moments later.
Oh mate, it's too warm to be fiddling about inside tents. Anyway, There we go, summer mode. What, you can set it up without this middle pole here, so we'll just make that a bit tighter there, and there it is with the mesh inner. It feels a lot lighter and breezier in here. Oh, I forgot. If you need some more breeze, Bacardi breezers, then there's a loop underneath here with a bit of a elastic on there, and there we go, more ventilation for you. That just brings it up off the floor, and it's got that on either side on both the doors, one there and one there. Now they do have massive doors to these Chinooks, so they're really easy to get in and out of, but when I was using it in the rain I found that water got in. But I've got a solution to that. Instead of tying the door back like that, you find the bit where you can bring it up for venting. That's got a little bungee on it. You put that on there like that, pull the zip of the door down, and there you go. Now you can do a little sneaky peeky underneath here, and then water don't get into your inner then either. I really am liking these tents. It's double sill nylon, and that's why they've had to do that seam sealing that way. But that one for summer, this one for all 4 seasons. And speaking of 4 season tents, I am raffling off my Kuiu Stormstar, so if you want a chance at winning that, I'll leave a link down in the description so you can check that out. If you've got any questions about any of these tents, then let me know in the comments. Also, let me know what you think about them, and if you like the video, obviously give me a thumbs up. But I don't know why people are talking about these tents. They do all sorts. They've got loads of range. These aren't just the only tents that they do. They've got a whole range of tents, different colours and stuff as well. They have ones where the poles are on the inside of the fly rather than outside. Smaller tents, larger tents, lighter tents, and the pegs that they do, they're absolutely spot on. They're called tube stakes. They like the Eastern pegs, similar to them, but they're cheaper and lighter, and they come in 4 different sizes as well. So one for every occasion. When it's in summer mode like this, you can have the 3rd pole on if you want. But if you want to drop weight, then you just take that pole off. If you're not expecting bad weather, that is. But I'd probably take it with me on every camp living in the UK. The bags, you want to know about the bags, don't you? Speaking of bags, how are you? The compression sacks that they come in, they're pretty decent. They top loading ones, and they've got 3 compression straps going down side, so you can either strap them to your handlebars if you're doing a bit of bike packing or whatever, and they do actually squash down really small because it's double-sided sill nylon, which is probably one of the strongest materials for tents, and it packs down really small as well, and it's lightweight. So I was editing the video and realised that I've missed out some information that I think you'd probably want to know, and obviously the regular channel viewers will want to see our Fenzel. It was too hot for us yesterday, so I apologise for me not being my chirpy self, but I've been out in the sun all day, and it was 22 degrees actually, not 18, and my egg in the nest was well and truly hard boiled. So I don't usually make review type videos unless I feel like a product is really good or the product is really and I really like these tents, but there's not much information on them. There's no real videos on them online showing them, so I thought I'd make a detailed video of them. Like, might not be detailed like. So the customer service is pretty responsive and decent. I ordered the Chinook in the forest green to start with, but when I received it I didn't particularly like the colour, and I thought if I'm spending all that money on a tent, I want it to be the one that I want. So they asked me to send the outer fly back to them, the green one, and they sent me out the granite grey, which is the one that I decided that I wanted. Now when I bought the Chinook 2, it didn't come supplied with pegs and guy lines, or the pole bag to be fair, but I already had the pegs anyway, and I always have loads of bits of guy line and stuff because I like modifying my tents. But I did ask them about this in an email, and they did tell me that they are going to start supplying pegs and guy lines with all the tents. They do sell them separately as well. And I bought some pole bags from AliExpress. It was a pack of 3 and I think it was about £8. Or you could just use one of your old pole bags. Because with Big Sky being a ultralight company, apparently the ultralighters don't use pole bags. So you'll have to keep that in mind. Now I've used both these tents. I wouldn't just be getting them out of packet and showing them you unless it was just a first look video. But I've used the Revolution 1.5 a couple of times, once in rain, once without rain, and it performed really well, and that's what made me want to buy the Chinook, which is a true 4-season tent. And I've also been out in storms in the Chinook 2, because obviously you've got to test your gear, haven't you? And in one of the videos it was stood next to a Cloud Peak 2, an 8-trike Cloud Peak 2, and the Cloud Peak 2 were caving in on itself, whereas the Chinook it was just stuck to ground like a limpet and didn't hardly budge. And one thing about these tents is they are very, very quiet in the wind. I mean, they're not going to make good videos because everyone wants to see a tent going like that and flapping in my face, don't they? But also, full transparency, I did buy these tents myself, one from eBay and one direct from them, but I do have an affiliate link with Big Sky, and this is from when I used to buy the pegs off them, and I think they're probably the best pegs around, or stakes should I say. So that's when I joined their affiliate program. So if you do decide to buy anything from their site, I do have a discount code which I'll put in the description, and use my link so I can get a bit of money back from buying this expensive tent. In fact, actually, I don't want you to buy one because I'm quite enjoying being the only person, well, it seems like the only person on YouTube that has these tents, apart from Andrew Beavers. Actually, he's got the one-person version of the Chinook, so if you want to see him in action in his, go check his videos out. They are just a small family-run business based in the US, but they have warehouses all over. One in the US, one in Europe, and one in Asia, I believe. So that eliminates any of the customs and duty tax that you have to pay when you get imports shipped in. And the other reason why I'm making this video is because I haven't been able to get out. Something happened after my live stream that I did on last Sunday, which I'll tell you about in my next video. Anyway, back to Grandma Grizz's garden. What do you think to the colours of them? They look good up on moors, you know, when they're next to boulders and that granite grey. Oh, this is Tales from Garden anyway. I'm at my mum and dad's house because I'm a landscaper, so I just paved and decked all mine. Then I've got nowhere to put my tents up now though. Anyway, I'll put a link for them in the description so you can have a look, and have a look at the pegs and whatnot, and have a look at the different ranges of tents because they've got loads. So thanks for watching.